you feel in terms of positivity? Let's talk about positivity real quick. What do you feel as though that we can input to some positivity in our community?
I think as a whole entire entity, I think people need to stop hating on other games. Because, like, number one, if it's not your cup of tea, you ain't gotta play it. You don't have to play it. I've been there, I've done that. If tech is not your thing and you prefer DOA, play DOA. If DOA is not your thing, you prefer tech, play tech. If Dragon Ball FighterZ is not your thing, you prefer Marvel, play Marvel. You know what I mean? But like, you'll see a bunch of people go online and then practically and go and look up numbers and then just start shouting out at other communities.
Yep.
And personally, I don't agree with that at all. Because it's like I said, just because I don't like something, that doesn't mean that everybody else has to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I have a bunch of friends that that dislike Tekken and play everything else. I have a bunch of friends that dislike Injustice and play everything else. Dislike Street Fighter and play something else. You know what I mean? If it's not up your alley, just be honest about it and say, hey, it's not my thing. But you don't have to go on social media and bash every little aspect.
Right.
You can address what you feel is wrong with the game, or wrong with how you, or wrong with like certain things about the game and whatnot, and you can talk that, you can hash that out. But at the end of the day, you're doing more harm than good by going on and going after games, by going on and attacking other games. It's the fighting game community. You want to be able to come to a fighting game community and be able to play what you want to play.
Right.
And doing stuff like that does more harm than good. Because everybody has a little circle, and everybody wants to go after other games and attack other communities because of it. It shouldn't be that way.
Right.
That's almost like starting a game.
So what do you feel, Big Dame 21, that you feel that there's some negative issues that are in our community?
I would just say, as a perspective from a player, you would think that FGC mean like fighting game community be like all together, coming together, fighting as one, trying to learn from each other and stuff. That's the thing right there. It's like, even though we are a community, you still have like we're in a high school clique per se. A lot of people will be with their certain friends. You try to ask them some certain like professional players these days, say, hey, how do I do this certain move? Or hey, how did you do that? You don't get any much feedback from certain people. So you have like high level players you want to learn from and try to ask them questions. But nowadays they're like too Hollywood. So you get that Hollywood aspect of someone you want to try to get better with, but they don't want to give you any feedback regarding it. And that's what kind of throws people away from going into fighting game competitions, because they feel as though, well, if I'm not going to get better and no one's going to tell me anything, then what's the point of me being a competitor these days? So I think that's one of the main problems right there, is that we're too cliquey with certain people, and that not everyone's giving feedback and then trying to learn from yourself, basically, how to get better within yourself these days.
So just in regards to the community in general, especially for the fighting game community, I think one of the big things that the community lacks is a cohesiveness or inclusiveness. And I think there's a lot of separation and stagnation between a lot of the different groups here. So under the fighting game community, there's so many different kinds of games, so many different kinds of players, so many different kinds of dedication to the craft, whether it's a hardcore player or a casual player. I think there's a lot of things that get lost in between because not everyone's on the same level of dedication. So one of the things I would hope for the fighting game community is to kind of be more open and more appealing towards other people that are trying to get into the games, and kind of encourage other people to enjoy it. And just remember, it's all about games and having fun, and it's not so much about, our game is better than this game, or our group of players are better than this group of players. While it is competitive and that's how fighting games work, I think what people should look for is more of the positive aspects of playing fighting games, is making friends, having fun, making money, and just enjoying the fighting games in general. That's what I hope for.
My thoughts on the negativity. When I compare the Japanese players to the Americans, the Japanese are more together and they are more successful. and I feel like it's a struggle for most Americans because they are, what's the word, prideful.
Prideful, yeah.
They're more prideful and like they feel like, community, it's not my thing. But that's why the Japanese players are mainly winning in these U.S. tournaments because they're more successful when gathering together, and also because of the distance. Like Japan is pretty small compared to America,
Right.
and it's pretty hard for us to like gather and play one another.
Right.
But then again, there is still that prideful isolation between Americans and the Japanese players. So that's why the Japanese players are more successful.
So more successful. So now speaking of the togetherness, and in your own words, what are your thoughts on the DOA community? Well, rather DOA 5, community is now starting to. I see it starting to dwindle a little bit. I still love the game, but do you feel as though that it is as strong as ever, or do you feel that it's starting to dwindle? What are your thoughts on that?
A little bit of both, but in terms of tournament numbers, it's starting to die down a little bit. But for those who are still loyal to the game, they are obviously most top players.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you still like the game, go out there and support it.
Yeah.
Our time will come.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, in fact, what are your solutions on the game? Rather, not just the game, but what are your solutions, and on how we can purvey the positive influence, even the energy in the FGC? What are your thoughts on that?
Just keep supporting the game, really. I mean, that's what the Japanese players are doing. Like, they're still supporting the game even though it's not high up there in terms of Street Fighter, Tekken, and so on. We should be doing the same thing. But another issue that most DOA players, they are mainly online players, and they don't really want to come out to these offline events. And I think it's a responsibility for as a community that we should help them to come out, because once they experience the offline tournaments, they're gonna keep coming, and that's how you gather numbers, in my opinion.
Right.
At least that's how it was with me. I first began as an online player, and then I started. Then I heard about the Full Classic at 2014. I didn't know there was a Full Classic in Raleigh, which is my hometown. And I started to show up, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. The game I enjoyed with similar taste of other people as me. So I'm like, it's pretty cool.
And it's really funny because when you mentioned that, to be honest with you, and I'll just keep this quick. What's really funny to me is that when I first met you, and it was your first time ever competing here in Final Round, and you gathered top 8, and it's more of like how people have perceived you after that. Did it really affect you in terms of your character, or did it affect your mentality in terms of just coming out, or do you feel personally that you actually persevered and it got you stronger for you to move forward? Because remember the memes now. The memes were, while I say, to me it's really pathetic, but I say it's funny at the end overall, because I know you laughed about it, and it was like the way you took it. To me, I thought it was really incredible the way you took it. But overall, personally, what are your thoughts on that?
The first time I made top 8, I was like, yes, I got stronger over the years. I feel like if somebody made top 8 for the first time, when the developers are supporting it, it's gonna make that person feel like they should come out to more and more events. Right. And that's how I felt. I made top 8, and I'm like, yes, I can do it again. And I did have some failures, like I didn't make top 8 in certain events, but I still support the game and show out to it. Yeah, and the final thing being is that a really touching moment with me was when you being a LA loyalist, versus the Japanese player who's also a LA loyalist, and he happened to just showed you nothing but respect afterwards. I mean, that was more impactful that time for that. I mean, and coming from your boy, I mean, because I am your boy, it's just that was very, very, very touching to me, man. And I think that's something that we need to show up more often. You know what I'm saying? I also think that if you're very passionate about the game you love, like you will show nothing but love. Yeah. And that's what Tarak and I showed each other that day. Yeah. Even though he won, I do admit I did cry. I did cry on the sidelines, but there's all sportsmanship. Like, we both enjoy our game. We look for our game to be a high up there in terms of Tekken and Street Fighter. And it's just passionate, man. Yeah.
Basically, you gotta show your love and passion of fighting games to other people. I mean, as a community, we should be going out to other places that don't really have like a big fighting game community like that, and kind of showing them like what it is to be like a competitive player. Show them how certain games how to become better at, and then you basically that player will have to adapt on their own. But at least we give them the advice of, okay, this is how the game works. This is how you kind of do certain things. You have to go on from there, from your perspective from this point. But I'll be there to support you no matter what, you know, from going on from here. And that's the thing, you know, we're just supporting each other. And then, you know, you just gotta like have the love of the game and trying to get as many communities to bring out together to get these games going forward. And not only within our communities, but as you see, we got a lot of esports arenas and all this other stuff. Let's get that in your own hometown, so that way they can get the notice, and then you can get a positive vibe, and that can bring the community together without much going on in the outside world.
Well, Strider's in the back.